Hey y'all, Kelly Whitney here with another thing older black women should tell younger black women, but don't. Girls, you can't let our lack prevent you from living a good life. I did a video the day before yesterday about Sky Jackson and all her latest kerfluffles out there in the media. But that video got a lot of traction, and a lot of you guys were in the comments saying some really interesting things, one of which was, how do we not make these mistakes with men, especially since our mothers didn't tell us anything about men? That's not the first, second, third, or even dozenth time that I've heard one of you say, we don't know anything because y'all didn't tell us anything. I believe you. I know that there was a lot of conversations that I probably should have had with my own mother that I didn't have, whether it was about men or money or just life in general. But my mom did tell me some things, usually when it cropped up. Like she saw me engaging with a man who wasn't shit and she would say, he ain't shit, you need to drop him. Of course, I didn't listen. A lot of times, older black women will tell you stuff, but you don't listen because the delivery is not where it should be all the time for the message to land in your spirit. A lot of times we aren't telling you what you need to know. A lot of times all you hear is keep your fucking legs closed, don't be a whore, don't be fast, don't be out here fucking out of both draw legs. We'll tell you stuff like that, but we don't tell you how to identify a good man from a bad one. We don't tell you how to discern when men are lying to you. We don't tell you how to identify when you're in a good relationship, what a good relationship looks like, etc. While that is our fault, it's not something that you should allow to prevent you from enjoying good relationships or from avoiding obvious mistakes. Because even if you don't get the lessons from your mother, you're getting the lessons from somebody. Even if it's from someone on the internet is trying to tell you, or you can simply learn by example. But the key is you have to be in a receptive frame of mind to identify the message and then absorb it and then suss out how that message applies to you. So there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of accountability that has to take place. Because you were mistreated by one man, maybe even two, one or two, hey, that's the game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be out here playing if you're gonna win. You will have some missteps. That's a part of life. You're gonna make mistakes. That's how you learn. But at some point, especially after the age of say 21, 25, if you're still making the same kinds of mistakes, it's not your mom's fault anymore because now you're an adult and you have to take accountability for your own behavior and your own actions. Don't feel bad if you get taken advantage of by a man because that's just part of the game. That's life. I'm sure you guys have heard you gotta kiss a few frogs before you find your prince, right? That's true. You win some, you lose some. Some are good, some are shitty. It is what it is. Because your mother, your auntie, your grandma didn't tell you what you needed to know, that's not an excuse for you to continue to fuck up. At some point, common sense has to come into play. I'm really successful. He's not really successful. He doesn't really treat me that well. He says ho shit. He acts like he's jealous. He behaves in a selfish manner. This is not a good man for me. Let me back away from this relationship. That's common sense. What's stupid is for you to allow the ignorance that your female relatives perpetuated in you to manifest in silly ideas like, oh, well, I know he's doing all these bad things, but I'm sure he's just having a bad day. And I know he really loves me. Well, why do you think he loves you if he shows you that he fucking hates you? You see what I'm saying? At some point, if it quacks like a duck, it has feathers and a bill, it's a duck. So if it tries to bite your ankle, don't try to take it home and make a pet of it. I know you may not want to hear this, but these are lessons that I had to learn the hard way, and that I hope that you don't have to learn the hard way. I hope that you don't have to learn these lessons at the big old age that I learned a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing on this channel, because that would be a shame. But at some point, y'all, we got to take responsibility for ourselves. The information is out there, and a lot of the information is in your gut, it's in your spirit, and it's in your experience. If a man mistreats you once, okay. If he mistreats you twice, If he does it 3 times, that's your choice. The 3-strike rule. I only give a nigga 2. That's just me. I'm up there in age and my patience ain't what it's supposed to be, probably, okay? Yeah, at this point, it's on you. And I know you may not think that's fair, but life ain't always fair. It's not about fairness. It's about how you play and what you're prepared to do to win. That's the game called life. I play to win without fail. And I would suggest that you do the same. Whether it's men, family, friends, when people show you who they are, you gotta believe them. The information is out there, whether you get it from your internet auntie. There's a lot of other older Black women out here on the internet who are happy to tell you their stories. And when people tell you their story, you gotta learn from it. You gotta embrace it. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself some hard questions, and don't be afraid of the answer, because all of life is not gonna be easy. easy. It's not going to be rosy. It's not going to be cute. Some of it's going to be fucked up. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be unfair. It's going to be shitty. It is what it is. But that's why it's so important for you to learn mistakes quickly so that those shitty periods don't last longer than they need to. And then you get back to the good life and living well. I know that may not be what you wanted to hear, but we all got to take responsibility for ourselves. And when you do that, you have more control over your life. You have more control over how you respond to mistreatment and how long you allow someone to mistreat you. It enables you to see more clearly, to discern who's good and who's bad when you embrace the truth, okay? So don't be afraid of it. And as far as your mothers and your aunties and your grandmas not really doing their job as far as passing down these lessons, Black women have been mistreated for so long that it would be kind of you to pity us and not hold it against us for not sharing the lessons that we should have shared with you, because you should know that a lot of us haven't learned these lessons ourselves because we weren't taught these lessons. And I'm not excusing us. I'm just giving you the facts. A lot of us can't teach you what we don't know or what we have not accepted or what we do not practice. That's why you got to teach yourself. You got to seek out the information that you need. You got to ask the right questions. And when you get the answer, you got to accept the truth. And that ends my TED Talk for today. I hope y'all got this message, and I hope y'all come back tomorrow.